So in today's video, this is a video that I found myself researching just about everything I could find surrounding this situation.
Oh, hell. And y'all make sure you show some love to Christina Randall. She's pinned down in the description.
I was literally sitting at home just scrolling on Facebook, scrolling through, looking at all my friends' kids' pictures. You know how it is, seeing what everybody's doing during the summertime. And I saw one of my friends post this video. It almost looked like a Snapchat video, and I'll show it to y'all later in this video. But it looked like somebody was just filming from their phone, and it was a bridge, and it was a canine officer running on the bridge, chasing what was probably a suspect on foot. And then you just see the canine officer jump, and then you don't see the dog anymore. And I was like, oh my gosh, like what happened? Why is this dog running? Why did the dog jump? What was going on? And then I found a bunch of information that I think is interesting, and I'm going to share with y'all today. Today, we're going to be talking about an incident that totally shocked me when I first saw it. It is about a canine officer named Streeter that has since been awarded a Medal of Courage since this incident took place.
Damn, you should have called him Bridger because he's jumping off the damn bridges.
But first, I think that we need to talk about police canines, because I learned so much from seeing this one clip of a video and then researching about it. So police canines are dogs that are trained to assist officers and law enforcement officers. This can include searching for items such as substances, locating missing people, or people that have fled from the cops' custody, basically on foot. And they also serve as protecting officers and finding other evidence. The breeds that are most commonly used by law enforcement are German Shepherds, Belgian Malinois, and they look a lot like German Shepherds, but they're all just so cute. I mean, hello, they're all so cute. Bloodhounds, Dutch Shepherds, and of course, Labrador Retrievers. I mean, everybody's favorite dog. Canines are used on federal and local level, and they're even used in the military. Canines are typically assigned to their handlers, and they will train together with them. Like the handlers will train alongside the canine, and they have to remember a bunch of different verbal commands and hand gestures. So it's not all audible, it's also hand gestures as well, which I find so fascinating. Initial training for a canine typically takes between 8 months and a year, depending on what they're being trained for. It can be a pretty lengthy process since it begins with training the handler, the officer. They begin with training the officer first. The handler has to make sure that they will be able to train and maintain their canine to the best of their ability. The handler has to have already completed the standard police academy training, and they have to have had 1 to 2 years of patrol service or patrol experience before they can even become eligible to transfer to the specialty canine unit. Now, for a dog to be considered, they have to first be able to complete a basic obedience training course. They must be able to obey commands of their handler without any hesitation. These dogs are typically trained with commands in other languages as well. So just because you have a canine puppy, a cute little German Shepherd puppy, doesn't necessarily mean that that dog is going to be a good fit to become an officer one day. These dogs that are used in law enforcement are trained to either be single purpose or dual purpose. Now, single purpose dogs are usually used for backup, they are used for personal protection, and they're also used for tracking. The dual purpose dogs do everything that the single purpose dogs do, but they also detect either things that blow up, and they also detect substances. However, the dogs are trained to detect one or the other. You're not going to have one canine dog that does substances and explosives. It's one or the other. These dual-purpose dogs are typically the dogs that you see when an officer comes and they are using their canine to search a suspect's vehicle. In the U.S., if a dog indicates the presence of substances, this gives an officer probable cause to search without a warrant. Single-purpose and dual-purpose dogs are typically the dogs that you will see assisting officers in arresting suspects as well. Whether they're being held next to the officer and the dog is barking, or whether the officer lets the dog loose and the dog runs and gets the suspect, pursues him on foot, and typically.
But like what happened here, y'all, I'm telling you, this dog jumps off of the bridge, apparently.
Takes them down. The canines are trained to bite, shake, and hold the arm or leg of an agitator. And I'm sure a lot of y'all have seen these videos where during training, the agitator wears like this certain protection. Canines usually work 6 to 9 years before they are retired unless an injury or something retires them earlier. And something that I believe is totally necessary and fair is that the police canines do receive the same honor as their human partners. And that is what is going to bring us to today's topic. Escambia County Sheriff's Officer Canine Streeter. Escambia County is the westernmost and the oldest county in Florida. It covers places like Pensacola, Cantonment, and so on. Canine Streeter belongs to Deputy Stimmel and was actually named after Corporal Eric Streeter, who passed away in the line of duty back in 1984. He was introduced to Eric's family back in 2021. And you guys, I'm about to show y'all this video, and I did not even know that this was a thing. Like, how emotional.
As a matter of respect and to honor our deputies, and so these names will continue to fight crime right here in Escambia County. We have family members for Eric Streeter and Deputy Don Cook, and now they get to meet the namesake of their loved one. And now it is my honor to introduce the family of Corporal Eric Streeter, who also was killed in the line of duty serving Escambia County, to our newest canine, Canine Streeter. Come on up here.
Oh, they gave him his last name. Okay, I see what they did. That's pretty amazing.
Hi. It's okay. It's all right. Yeah. See you. Street boy. Wonderful.
Aww.
Just patrol cancel, so this came, so that was perfect.
It was awesome. Perfect.
It is perfect timing. Hi, sweetie. Hi.
Good boys.
They named the canine after one of the fallen deputies, his last name. That's pretty awesome.
It sure is.
It's good. Good boy. Good boy.
All right, thank you.
Let's see.
Get it, y'all.
This brings us to the high-speed situation that we're going to be talking about that happened this year. So on June 24th of this year, 2024, deputies were notified that a known stolen car had been spotted. So the deputies made their way over to the location, and as they were heading there, they were told that over 40 shots had been fired on the same road that the stolen vehicle was spotted on. Now, as you can imagine,
40?
this started to seem like a very serious crime had occurred. That may have been related to the stolen vehicle. When the deputies arrived to the area, they spotted the stolen vehicle, and when they did, they tried to pull it over. However, this is when the pursuit began. And when you look at where the pursuit started versus where it ended, the officers began to chase this stolen car for a ways. Do you hear me? On the interstate, high speed, all of that. Now, the pursuit ended when a deputy performed a pit maneuver on the vehicle on the Escambia River Bridge. And for any of y'all that followed the Gannon Stouch case, it is the exact same bridge that Letitia Stouch, Gannon's stepmom, threw the suitcase over. That same spot. I'll let the body cam footage show you what happened next.
And if you guys want to see this TikTok, come on over to come over to YouTube. We're live on Instagram too, y'all, and Facebook tonight. So shout out to Instagram and Facebook. I think there's 3 people watching on Instagram right now. Yeah, getting those numbers up, y'all. The Mystery Project on YouTube. Come on over. Pleasure. Good to see you. Thanks for Tiny Diny. And y'all hit me with those little fingers. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's about to jump off on that side. Man. You crazy as hell.
What are y'all grabbing?
You run out and break the...
Come here, Streeter. Streeter, come here. Hey, buddy. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Come here, baby.
Man, these cops have to be all like up into like almost waist deep water.
Yes, you on that. You take him. We're going forward.
Now, as you can see, after the pit maneuver,
Man, that dude is crazy as hell. First off, you're going to jail, right? Wherever you did, you're going to jail for that. Second off, now you're going for evading arrest, reckless driving, all this stuff. Then you're running from the police officers. So you're going to have all these extra charges. Then you jump off a bridge 30, 40 feet down. So you probably got some broken ankles. Something's messed up. And on top of that, the dog, the canine deputy, jumps off the bridge after you and then bites the hell out of you. Man, you are crazy as hell. You got all kinds of new charges. You got broken ankles. You got dog bites all over you. And you look like an idiot on the internet. Man, you crazy as hell for that.
3 suspects jumped out of the car, and you could see 2 of them jump off the bridge, and you see another one basically start running. Then you see Canine Streeter went after them. This was a 40-foot drop.
One of our canines, Canine Streeter, also chased the suspect. This is Canine Streeter, who does what he's supposed to do. He does what he's trained to do.
Oh hell!
Trained to.
The dog was fine. The dog, it said that he had some bruising and like minor injuries. Totally fine.
To chase and apprehend bad guys, no matter where they go, no matter what they do. So this is Streeter. Go and play this video. Now his handler,
Man, that dog was like, "Let me at him." Where's he going? Let me at him.
Deputy Stimmel, is trying to get him in the right spot so that he can see the suspects as they were running. And then he sees that the suspect had jumped over this bridge, and our Canine Streeter, this
Look at him.
brave boy, jumps over that bridge as well. And then,
That dog didn't even look. That dog went, oh, that man went over that bridge. Went right after him.
into that water, probably 34
Why didn't they show that? I want to see the dog actually, like, I mean, they show the leap. He's on his way over, but he didn't see him go down.
feet, easy. And then we end up having to fish Canine Streeter out. This is a video of our deputies that are on the ground underneath those 2 bridges, one going east and one going west. Nothing Michael told me is north and south, but there's 2 bridges there, and we're trying to capture the 3 people that jumped over, and we're also trying to recover our canine, who is probably injured at this point because of the fall and doing his duty. So if you can play this video real quick. You can also see the swampy area and the dedication of the men and women of the sheriff's office. At this point, we're trying to get drones in the air. We're trying to get boats in the water, so that we can better serve the public by getting these 3 murderers off the street.
Now, the video that I saw was just a little clip of somebody saying, "Oh my gosh, the dog."
Yeah, Sarcastic Sheila, that's what they said. That was their first intent, was getting in there and getting the dog and then finding the guy.
People jumping off the right too. The dog.
Oh, they did it. They show it. Yo, the dog, you see the dog jump off. Oh my God, that was awesome. Did y'all see that? Come over to YouTube right now. You can watch it. The Mystery Project on YouTube.
Right too.
Look at that. Boom.
The dog.
That's crazy as hell. That dog went, oh, hell no. I'm about to get some treats catching this dude.
The dog just jumped. The police dog just jumped off the bridge. Babe.
Oh, hell.
This was the initial video.
Yeah, that dog was like, wee! You know, yo, they literally, when he let him off the leash, that dog took about 10 feet up and then just turned sideways and jumped off that thing. Holy hell.
That I seen where
Debbie, thank you for the what's that called? Finger hearts, y'all. Let's get it. We're almost there, about 100 left.
the dog jumped, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, what happened? Where did this start? Is the dog okay?" Canine Streeter was indeed injured, but has since made a full recovery.
Hell
But
yeah.
we'll come back to him later. Now, one of the suspects, 22-year-old Travion Moten, when he jumped off of the bridge, he completely missed the water, and sadly, he passed away from his injuries related to
Sadly?
the fall.
What? That dude took someone's life and then jumped off a bridge and sadly he no. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. You do what you did, you run from the police, and then you decide to jump off a bridge. You did that to yourself. That's not sadly. That dude, come on.
The second suspect.
Am I alone in that? Thumbs up if you agree with me, thumbs down if not. Maybe I'm just heartless, but I mean, come on. You in somebody else's life, you run from the police, and then you chose to jump off a bridge and you missed the water. Man, you crazy as hell for that.
19-year-old Jacarius Etheridge was caught and he was arrested. He was charged with first-degree premeditated murder and
yeah, good.
Also felony murder for the death of Travion. And he was also charged with crimes related to those 40 shots that.
Oh, so the guy who was driving the car got charged with the dude jumping off and himself also. I think that's, yeah, he should be charged with that as well. That's a whole bunch of thumbs up on on YouTube. I saw nothing but thumbs up over here on TikTok as well. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, come on. I mean, yeah, it sucks that the whole thing happened, but you can't feel bad about somebody who made all of those decisions themselves. You know what I mean?
We talked about earlier, as well as like fleeing from law enforcement.
Like if one of his friends had pushed him off, that's a different story. But he chose to do all of that.
And he also faces 2 life sentences if he ends up getting convicted. Now, the third suspect initially got away. As a matter of fact, as I was still like invested in this whole situation, trying to find out if the dog was okay. And then afterwards, this was as this was going on in real time. Afterwards, when I found out what the 3 guys were accused of doing, firing those rounds in the air, was somebody hurt? Were they okay? What happened?
Oh, hell.
The following morning, there was all these officers out in that same area looking in the water for this third suspect, believing that he had jumped over as well and was in the water somewhere, alive or not. However, initially, he got away. Now, as for those 40 shots that reportedly went off before the chase even started, it is being considered a drive-by. A 70-year-old woman named Myra Hayes was struck in the neck and she was transported to the hospital in critical condition.
Oh, hell no.
Where she unfortunately later passed away.
They took the life of a 70-year-old woman just because they were firing off in the air. Man, you crazy as hell for that.
Only one injured, and it is said that allegedly she was just.
See, that part is sadly
sitting on her porch. So a 70-year-old woman
she was just sitting on her porch.
Just sitting on her porch, and this happened. Absolutely devastating. According to the sheriff, he believes that this whole incident was retaliation for another incident that occurred back in June 20th that ended the life of a 22-year-old named Terrell Owens.
The shooter,
oh, hell, doesn't that dude play football?
as we understand it,
It's crazy as hell.
is likely linked to a homicide that took place in the city limits, and this is a retaliation for that. So we got indication the stolen car was going down Harris Boulevard.
Debbie, thank you.
We start heading that way. We get a shot spotter indication that 40 rounds have been shot. Then we get the indication that this car is leaving the area.
Now, as I mentioned earlier, K9 Streeter was injured and he was transported to a local emergency animal hospital.
And this is K9 Streeter was injured during his jump, his leap, during doing his duty. He was kept overnight at the emergency vet on Davis, and then he went to Westside Animal Hospital for a follow-up. And
oh, look at them ladies. All those veterinarians and vet techs, they're like, oh, we're going to take good care of this puppy dog.
These are some of the people
That's amazing.
that took good care of our brave boy right there.
Man, look at that puppy dog. He's like, what's up? What'd I do? What'd I do? He didn't even know. Oh, that's crazy.
And he
Go back and rewatch y'all about 10 minutes ago when they had the video of like the person in the back, like way off the bridge, and they get the dog jumping off of the bridge. It's crazy.
Does have some injuries, so I'm putting him on desk duty until about Friday, but he'll be able to return back.
Putting him on desk duty.
Back to duty, and he's a bit of a hero because he did what all the men and women at the sheriff's office do. They don't stop until they catch the bad guy. And if you've ever been over to that bridge, you know that's a pretty good drop. I was up there last night, and it was just I'm not sure how anyone could survive that, but our K9 did.
Now, I want to play a piece of the video
That's incredible.
of the dog running and jumping off the side of the bridge again.
People jumping off the right
Yeah.
too?
Boom.
The dog just jumped. The police dog just jumped off the bridge. Babe. What is going on?
Now, when I first saw this, I must have watched the video of Officer Canine Streeter 20 times. Me and my husband sat there watching it over and over again because I'm thinking, like, what a faithful dog. He just got out of that car and was ready to go. You know what I mean? Just open up the car door and the dog doesn't think. He doesn't ask questions. Nope. He doesn't need a drink of water. Doesn't need to smoke a cigarette first. He's not
what?
Arguing, oh my gosh, it's hot out here. The dog just goes.
Snapped into action.
He just ran and jumped over the side of the bridge, not even knowing what was there because he's so faithful. And I was like, oh my gosh. Well, he deserved it for sure. And he ended up receiving the Medal of Courage from the sheriff's office. A presentation was held in honor of Streeter. And this is such a beautiful thing, such a silver lining in something terrible that happened. But Eric,
that's one of those things of like, man, we don't even deserve dogs with how unbelievably loyal and amazing they are. Like as humans, man, that's crazy. And the Streeter, y'all, it was named after this guy. So this is, I think his name was Eric Streeter. That was a deputy, a fallen deputy. And they named the canine after him. So he got his last name. The canine did. That's so cool.
Streeter's family. Remember, you guys, what we were talking about earlier, the one that passed away in the line of duty back in 1984, the one who Canine Streeter is named after.
Whoa. And from the 80s.
Their family came to the presentation. And just like you guys saw in the video earlier, where the sheriff said that they name their canines after officers that have passed away in the line of duty.
Man, I'm digging that.
In order to keep their name alive. And you guys, I did not know any of this before. I was sitting there scrolling on Facebook.
That's incredible.
And seeing the dog run and jump over the side and me frantically researching to try to find out if the dog was okay. And then finding out everything else with the 70-year-old woman and the family of Eric Streeter. And it's just
great. Thank you.
So many amazing things in a terrible situation. Now, this third suspect that we were talking about that initially got away, he was arrested 5 days later, okay? 5 days later with all of that going on. 19-year-old Terrence Gross Jr. was found with his father and he was arrested near the border in Laredo, I think it's pronounced, Texas.
Laredo, Texas.
The sheriff's office believes that he was literally on his way to cross the border to go into Mexico because he was very, very, very close.
Oh, hell.
He is being charged with attempted fleeing and eluding with a weapon and some other charges. The sheriff's office has said that they are considering pressing charges on Terrence's father for assisting Terrence in his escape.
Hell yeah.
I've been in law enforcement a long time. It's probably the first time that I recall an incident just like this. That's why we train.
Gross spent almost 5 days on the run and was found nearly 1,000 miles away, not far from the U.S.-Mexico border in Laredo, Texas.
He was in a truck with his father.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Heading down Mexico way. A couple days ago, we kind of got
that's crazy as hell.
Some word that he may have escaped the perimeter, and then we were going off that assumption, which led us to develop the partnership with the Texas authorities, and they ended up stopping him for us.
And
oh hell yeah, them Rangers gonna get him. Spitfire, thank you. Go for great. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, y'all. We're hitting goals over on TikTok. Thanks for the love. TikTok, hit the follow button if you're new here. Tap the screen like crazy. Let's get 25,000 likes. YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. We don't have 100 likes yet. What? Come on, y'all. Hit the little thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new. We're live on Facebook, Instagram, and Rumble as well. So shout out to all y'all. Welcome in. Do the things on each little site over there. You know, do what you do. And let's keep on going. This one's almost over.
The way that this whole situation happened is so sad when you really, really think about it. You think about the 22-year-old who lost his life a while back that allegedly it is believed that these 3 young men were retaliating because of the 22-year-old that lost his life. Now, 3 young men, one of them has already lost his life because he jumped over the side of the bridge and completely missed the water.
Virginia, absolutely. Yeah.
If you guys saw when the car was stopped, it's like they didn't even look. Just the one just jumped over. Awful. And you got 3 young men who may have just, one lost their life and the other 2 may have lost theirs. And obviously a desperate father.
Thanks for the
The
Bears,
father
y'all.
that drove his son to Texas and was possibly going to help him cross the border. You got to be a desperate father. And I don't say that in a derogatory way. I say that in a heartbreaking way.
What? Oh, hell, that's not heartbreaking. That's horrible. If you were a good father, you turn him in. If you're a good father, you let him face the consequences for his actions. It's not a derogatory thing to say, hey, you did something really dumb. Somebody lost their life. Somebody else lost their life. You need to pay the price for that. I think it's disgusting that he helped him try to escape to Mexico, and he 100% should be brought up on charges. That is crazy as hell. Am I alone in that one too, y'all? I don't know. Thumbs up in the chat if you agree. Thumbs down. Nah, the dad just did what a dad should do. No.
I mean,
If a dad did what he should do, that kid wouldn't have even been in that situation. He'd have been like, nah, I'm good. I'm not trying to hang out with people like that do crazy stuff like that. I'm good.
you've got your kid and he's thinking, awful. These young men made a decision and 2 of them are sitting in jail right now and looking at life in prison. And one of them's already lost their life. And their parents are somewhere devastated. And you got a 70-year-old woman who was just sitting on her porch, probably getting some fresh air, looking at the birds. And then instantly, in one pop, she's on the way to the hospital and loses her life. And even though all of that is sad and disappointing and heartbreaking, and again, I cannot imagine how the family members of the 70-year-old woman feels and how the family
Yeah, that's who I feel bad for. The innocent victim.
members of the 3 young men feel, because they did something so stupid. I'm just going to say it. Just firing off those rounds in the air, maybe to scare somebody, and they hit somebody, an elderly woman, and now look what their lives are, and their friend lost his life. But even with all of that, to learn everything that I learned, and now
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
that y'all have learned, if you've made it this far in the video, of Canine Streeter and the whole situation with renaming the canine officer after a fallen officer. I just thought that was
is really
amazing.
cool.
I thought it was beautiful. I hope that Canine Streeter got all the treats, and it just makes me look at
Oh, hell yeah, he did.
canine officers just a little bit differently. I already love them. I think all dogs are cute, right? But
Stephanie, for sure.
now I just look at them just a little bit more differently. Like how faithful, how amazing. These dogs will literally take a bullet for their officers that quick and not
Or jump 40 feet off a bridge.
even think about it. Jump over the side of a bridge and not even bat an eye. It's incredible.